Have a seat. Tommy, you are a mountain of a man. You remind me of myself. Really, we could be twins.
Honestly.
We could.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". I'm 6'1.5".
Yeah, that's...
Absolutely. We look alike. I can grow a mustache.
Yeah.
You are a power lifter?
Something like that.
You like powerlifting?
Pick things up and put them down.
Well, you know what? Me and you both. Me and you both. What do you bench?
Enough.
Numbers. We're twins here.
Oh, the most ever?
Most ever.
385.
How much?
385.
385.
Yes.
It's 60 pounds more than me. We're good to go.
Yeah.
We are brothers.
Yeah.
Let me just show you up here, like Schwarzenegger and DeVito, twins, right here. Me and you. And you played football?
Yes.
I played football.
Yeah.
Soccer, but still football.
Yeah, the
We're
actual
good?
Football.
We are good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's your middle name?
Patrick.
Patrick? My middle name is Charles, but that doesn't make a difference because I think we could be twins. How much you deadlift if you're powerlifting?
I've done 585.
585. Yeah, that's more than me. We're good. We're good. So, Tom, how you been, man?
Good.
Good?
This is an interesting time to exist in, for sure.
Why is that?
I've a lot of uncertainty hit with student teaching, and
Okay.
I was overcoming that and having to navigate that,
Mhm.
and it was interesting.
Yeah.
But it was also very, very awesome to see the way that like everyone reacted to it and has
Mhm.
responded, and I got to learn a lot about my students in the time that I was there, so
Okay.
I'm very thankful for that fact.
Yep.
And
So let me stop you there for a second. So if you don't know, because we're twins, we have the same degree. Education degree?
yes,
I have an education degree. So where'd you get your education degree from? Why don't you walk us through that, Aaron? Walk us through that.
So I have my degree in integrated social studies, which is 7th through 12th grade history.
Put the mic up closer to your mouth.
Education,
There we go.
and that's from Kent State.
Kent State?
Which is originally an education university, if you did not know.
Where did you go before Kent State?
The University of Findlay.
Do you know where I was accepted to go to school? University of Findlay. True story. I'm not even making that up. True story.
Really?
Twins.
Am I DeVito?
We're twins.
I think I'm DeVito.
Probably.
Yeah.
If a man deadlifts 585, I would say you're more DeVito.
Yeah.
So, good. So you went from Findlay
Yes.
to Kent State.
Yes. And that was an interesting transition because that was not something I chose to do.
Mhm.
It was something that I kind of had to do for the sake of my own health.
Okay.
I had a
Yep.
post-concussive syndrome, which is you don't take one specific hit. You're not like, wham, this is over. I woke up one day, I went to class, I blinked, and I opened my eyes and I was blind for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
And
Scary.
it was really, really fun. Yeah, good time. But I was awake for about 2 weeks and going through all these things. So like, it was a choice of, do I go down this road and try and chance it, or do I make the safe choice and stop playing the sport that was giving me a lot, and I was afforded the tools that I have with my body that God gave me that would be like, I can use it to get a scholarship, but at the same time, I'd rather go home and do something like purposeful and not sit at somewhere where I'm feeling like regret for it. So
Yeah.
it's worked out.
Good.
God's will has pushed me in the way of this is where you're supposed to be.
Good.
That's how I feel. I don't feel like complacent in anything. I feel very, very content where I'm at.
Mhm.
So
Well, good. Sometimes we go through stuff and we don't understand, and God leads us to places where we never thought we would end up. So you're at Kent State, and what are some of your jobs at Kent State? You got an interesting story there.
okay. So when I went to Kent, I originally hadn't been able to go to the gym a lot when I was at Findlay just because of when I was hurt.
Me neither. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
Yeah.
then when I started going, I talk to every human being I see, so I started talking to the people that worked at the rec center, and I ended up working, befriending a few of the guys there, and started working there. And I worked there for 3 years, and ended up actually managing the entire facility whenever I would work. So I was responsible for all 135,000 square feet and every human being life in there, which is not a lot of responsibility for $10 an hour. No, it was a very, very amazing experience, and really like, I don't know, it helped me blossom into the human being I am, and afforded me a lot of opportunities of communication with people that I wouldn't necessarily have had. I've been in numerous emergency situations because of that. I've seen my favorite day at work ever was I had a tornado, power outage, potential fire, evacuation.
In one day.
In one day, yeah. I walked 8.5 miles in that building. It was great. It was a good day.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, and
Good.
so I worked there, and then I'm now a barista. I work at Starbucks for the time being to just, make some money. So.
Yep. So you said that you were student teaching.
Yes. So
Where were you student teaching?
Brecksville Broadview Heights High School.
Brecksville Broadview Heights.
Yes.
High School. What were you teaching?
So I was teaching. I had 4 sections of honors modern world history, which was.
I'm going to stop you right there, because the reason I'm not a teacher is because some kids are smarter than me, and I'm like, I'm not going there. So go ahead. That and I didn't pass my boards, but go ahead.
Well, that can extinguish your ego very quickly, especially when you're in your classroom and a kid's like, no, it's this. And you're like, no, wait, no, you're right, actually. I'm wrong. And then I helped out with 2 sections of AP Government. But the community that exists there is very, very rigorous with the family, with the parents. So they were helicoptery for sure. But it was actually really good because I had to be on my game, and the kids really.
You didn't punch them or anything, did you?
Only twice. No, actually, no, never, not at all. Actually, there was never. That's the thing is, I got really lucky where I was at, where it was there was no behavioral issues per se. Like there was attitudes and apathy, which is more of what I had to deal with. Most of the kids cared. Most of the kids actually genuinely were playing into.
Yeah. The attitudes came from the parents.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I went to parent-teacher conferences. Yeah. I know teachers don't like it, but it's genuinely fine. Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. So how did you work this whole COVID-19 and student teaching and all of that?
A lot more hours than you would normally put in. I got lucky where I was at because the school that I worked with had one-to-one. So like everyone had computers. Everyone was able to actually like properly learn digitally. We already were learning digitally, like to some component. Like my department that I was in was really awesome, and we were just like, hey, like do the work, do all you gotta do, and like we commented on work. Essentially, all I was doing was grading, so I didn't have to generate really any assignments, and like I gave kids feedback in Zoom calls, which was fun. But it's hilarious when you're in your PJs and like you just from here up is dressed properly, and you're like, I'm gonna teach you about Nazi propaganda. Here we go.
Yeah.
And they're like, none of them are listening, but you're like, okay, like you turn your work in on time. That's all that matters. Yeah. But it was interesting to navigate. It was definitely like trying to have an air of professionalism. Like as a teacher, you're like, I'm literally doing the same thing that these students are doing. I just have to teach them. Okay, here we go. Like, hey guys, I just woke up 5 minutes ago. How's it going? So it was good. It went well, and like I thank God that I had an amazing CT. She was a 27-year veteran. She sold explosives before she was a teacher, and she's a woman of God. She's really, really cool. She like just very thankful that like serendipitously that I had her as a CT, and she just gave me the keys to the castle. And was
what
like,
is serendipitously for those kids in there? Because I have no idea what that is.
Through like happily like falling into it. Things happen. They all line up.
Eliana, good. All right. When you're up here, I'm going to ask you what that word is. So thanks.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Good. So you plan to be a teacher?
For the time being, I would love to actually. That's something I'm battling with right now. Is that I have this degree. I'm going to get my sub and my teaching license. And regardless of whether or not I like find, and I'm positive that I can find a teaching job. I've actually talked to my. I got lucky enough where my mom, she works for the district, and her old boss was the number 3 in charge of the ODE. So he's like, the people that make the rules for teaching, that was her old boss. And I talked to him and gave him my resume. He's like, yeah, you're good. Like, you will get a job. But I actually have been trying to think about going and getting my PhD in either developmental or social psychology. And I want to study how masculinity and femininity and things like that, and like social formations affect specifically young men and women's mental health, and how we can better equip under-equipped communities and represented communities and with the resources that they need. Because a lot of the time there's stigma around going and getting yourself help.
Right.
So I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I ran a men's mental health organization this past year on campus, which has been really rewarding. And I'm handing it off to someone this year, so I'm actually in the process of like planning that out so he can make a smooth transition. But I have a real passion for that, and I love teaching, but I would love teaching more so in the capacity of mental health. So actually, I'm going to pursue my there's a mental health first aid course that you can teach, and I'm going to get my certification in that this year, hopefully. And then maybe I would love to work for that organization. I would love to work for several nonprofits that are for mental health, but we'll see.
Good.
You know, I'm not.
Yeah, and your dad said he's flipping that bill, so you're good.
Yeah, no, he's not. No, no, everything's mine now. Yes, yeah, no, it's all me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, it sounds like that's exciting. Let me ask you this question: what teacher, other than your CT, what teacher left the biggest impact on you in college?
In college, okay, so
positively.
That's very easy. My main professor for education. He actually, him and I have a very a kinship. He's confided to me and stuff. Like we created a really good relationship. There's a lot of kids that were like, he's kind of woo-woo, and I'm like, he's crazy, but like in a good way, like Doc Brown,
Oh yeah. A lot of relationships. He's crazy, but in a good way. He's
like
nuts.
He's like nuts, but it's endearing. No, he taught me a lot about allowing yourself to know that teaching is a fluid business, and that you have to care about the kids first. You have to, and sometimes empathy has to be taught, but I was lucky enough to have a family and to be raised up in a way where I naturally cared. And he would springboard ideas off of me, and I was able to go to him and just be like, hey, I'm a 20-something and I want to show you this cool new music. And he'd be like, all right, cool. All right, here's this. And so I could have a relationship with him beyond just being like, hey, because it was nice to know that I left the same impact on him that he did on me as a student. So yeah.
Well, good. Awesome. Wonderful. Give him a round of applause. Nice. Yeah. Before you go, I have a book for you. There's also a cake out there for you.
I saw the cake.
The whole cake is for you because you are a mountain of a man.
I will eat it with my hands.
Yes. You eat the whole thing, you look like me and DeVito. So we have a book. I have a book. I picked it out for you. It's Just Do Something by Kevin DeYoung, a liberating approach to finding God's will. Okay. And I lowered the value by signing it. So,
darn it.
But anyway, it's a short book. It's a quick read. It's a good book. And no matter where life takes you, you can always find God's will. So outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. All right, next on the agenda, Mr. Ben GENTILE. All right. Come on, Ben. How are you doing, Ben?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. You graduated from?
Streetsboro
High.
I think I graduated.
You did. We are good. And where are you going to go to school, Ben?
I'm going to go to Liberty.
Liberty. One of the good things about Liberty is that they have multiple campuses around here. Because I hear Liberties in Solon, Bedford, Parma Heights, Vermilion. I practiced that for a long time.
You did?
So anyway, now where's Liberty?
It's in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg, Virginia. What attracted you to Liberty University?
For one, it had my major, and
what's your major?
My major is currently broadcasting or digital media.
Okay, sounds good. Broadcasting or digital media.
It goes by many names.
Many names. Good. What's another name?
Journalism.
Journalism. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So, are you working anywhere currently?
I am. I am working for Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Nice. I find that if you have the name Gentile, that you work like 2 weeks from out of birth. Like if you're 2 weeks old, and we have something at the church, your dad's like, get Ben over here. And your mom's like, he's 2 weeks old. Doesn't matter. He's a Gentile. We work. You got Caleb, your brother's mowing grass for your dad for the last 2 years on a tractor. Right, Caleb? Yeah. So, well, good. Valvoline, how long you been there?
About 10 months now.
10 months?
So almost
You
a
like
year.
it?
It's kind of the same thing, over and over again.
Same,
I mean, oil
it's
change.
good.
You
I mean,
just
same thing as what?
let's get. So you do an oil change, you pull it out, you got another color. Oh, let me guess. Oil change. Yeah.
Got
So
Got
it's
it.
kind of.
Been there. Yeah. So you have a passion for entertaining with illusions and sleight of hand.
I do.
You know what? I don't tell people this. I think this is the first time my wife is going to hear this. We've got this picture up here for you. I dealt with illusions and sleight of hand at a young age. My grandfather took my nose, literally grabbed it, this is not my real nose.
Really?
Really.
Like prosthetic or something?
No, just gone. And I never forgot that. So why don't you show me a trick?
Okay. Here,
Did you bring something?
I
to
did
show me a
bring
trick?
something. I'm gonna do
Okay.
something here.
Okay.
I thought instead of coming prepared, I'm gonna do something for the first time ever.
Coming prepared because I asked him to come prepared.
So I've never
Outstanding.
done this in front of an audience ever. And
Outstanding.
you wanna help me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. So we got magic instructions. So here, I'm gonna open this up. If you're gonna
Do I intimidate you because I look like Tommy?
a little bit, the height's a little different. If you just want to read, stop at every bullet point.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So, go ahead. What's the
It's a bandana magic trick instructions.
bandana magic?
Props, bandana.
All right, we got
Ban-
what? It's a-
bandana. It's a banana. We go on.
All right, yeah, we'll just keep
Cloth
going.
napkin.
All right, we got cloth napkin. Cool.
Good.
Cool.
So training. Here we go. Pick up that bandana and fold the bandana in half. Then fold it one more time.
All right. One more time.
One more time.
All right.
Got it. Take the bandana and hide it in your left hand. Remember to keep your hand in a neutral position. This is called palming. Now we can start the trick. Here we go. Step one, open up the folded bandana. Show the audience it's a regular bandana by waving it up and down. If an audience member does not believe it's a real bandana, let them rub their face in it or blow their nose in it. I believe you. Step two, pick up the cloth napkin and make a makeshift bag from it. Wipe your hands on your pants.
Okay.
Good. Are we ready? Using your free hand to fold the creases you made earlier and drop it into the makeshift bag.
Okay.
Okay? Does it taste like banana?
Yeah.
Okay, good. From the outside of the bag, squeeze the bandana into a small little ball. Okay. But what the audience didn't see was that you didn't put the bandana in the napkin at all. You really kept it in your left hand. Remember palming? Step three,
Swell.
make a magical gesture. Finally, fling open the napkin and receive your well-deserved applause. Nice, outstanding. Look at you, all fancy like. I practiced one, I have one for you.
Okay.
All right, you got $20?
Yeah. Here. Let's see what I got. Yeah, here. Want a gift card?
Just take $20. $20, it's legal, and watch it disappear. Thank you. Grab a seat.
Okay.
Outstanding. So your parents told me, I asked people to give me some stuff, and your parents said that you are aggravated by them, like when they're around and they breathe. So what I want to do is call it Mr. and Mrs. Gentile and just stand next to Ben this whole time. I'm kidding. That's fine. So when did you start doing all of this stuff?
Probably about 8th grade is when I started. I do have, so actually the first time I ever did anything was back when Awana had a talent show. So Awana had a talent show. Mr. Ben Woodland over there, and I tried doing a magic show. Completely went south. Yeah, so actually the year before that, we did a ventriloquism act. Ben came up with it, nailed it, everything. People were laughing, and then it was my idea to do a magic show, and
wasn't it the two guys who can't do magic or something?
pretty much that was it.
It was I still laugh to this day. I thought that was the funniest thing.
But like originally, it was supposed to. We were actually trying to do magic, and it just kind of just came off as funny.
Oh, okay.
But we don't tell
Yeah.
people about that.
Okay. So you like doing it and everything?
Yeah.
Learning tricks?
Yep,
You use fire?
I do.
Nice. Do you eat fire?
Yeah,
Nice. Your parents know? They do now.
yeah.
Good. All right. You gonna teach your young brothers and sisters to do the same?
No.
Okay. So tell me about trying to perfect the ultimate pizza. What's up with that?
Trying to perfect the ultimate pizza. I've been trying to make pizza for a long time.
Like homemade or like microwave?
Yeah, homemade, and not very good at it.
No?
But we're getting there. So especially over quarantine, I've been cooking a lot.
Actually, you've not been quarantined. This is one of the things that bothers me. Quarantined are for those who are sick.
Oh, yeah.
Sheltered at home are those who are healthy. Unless you've been sick.
Well, I haven't been sick, but
I'll move away a little bit more.
okay.
No, I won't. So you graduated school. What happened with this whole COVID-19? How'd that work in your senior year?
So I was taking college classes at Kent State, and which was okay because Kent State Twinsburg.
Did you see Tommy?
I did not because he
No?
was at main campus. I was at the
Tommy was
Twinsburg.
working on his PhD while you're in high school.
Yeah, I'm just taking college stats and
there
all
you
that.
go.
But yeah, so when I was taking that class, I had never taken a college statistics class or a statistics class in general. And then my professor wasn't very tech savvy
No.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so when COVID-19 happened, things just got a lot better.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, the statistics for your teacher not being tech savvy was either 50-50. That's
Yeah.
statistics for you.
It was the bad half.
Yeah.
I think that's how that works.
Yep. So you missed prom.
I guess, if I was going to go.
Yeah. Were you going to go?
I don't know.
No?
I didn't decide.
You didn't care?
No.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Why waste $200 on a night? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Good. So you're going to Liberty
Yep.
and you're studying broadcast journalism. Good. Who was your favorite teacher in high school and why?
Favorite teacher?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say a lady by the name Miss Maruna,
Miss Maruna.
Miss
And why Miss Maruna?
because you couldn't duplicate her even if you tried.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Both.
Oh, really? Not even with your sleight of hand?
No, so she was the history teacher and a psychology teacher,
Okay.
and did not want to see any of my sleight of hand tricks, anything like that. I'm not sure why. I asked her why. Like she would let me perform it in her class, but to her, no.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. She did talk to me about like psychology, but she never no tricks.
No kidding.
So, wasn't sure why, but she was still my favorite teacher.
Okay, good. Who left the biggest impact on you in school?
Like anybody?
Anyone.
That's a hard question.
You can come back to it if you want.
Yeah, let's circle around.
You ever involved in extracurricular activities?
I was, quite a few.
Such as?
I was in marching band for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
so playing on the field every Friday night during the fall.
Nice.
I did a few theater shows.
Oh, theater.
Yep, so did
Nice.
magic with that
Theater.
too. So,
We have another theater person here. I have a specific question for the next theater person. Good.
and then,
What kind of theater were you in?
it was just,
Well, there's
There
only
was-
one kind of theater.
I mean.
What
yeah.
plays were you in?
I was in Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. And who were you in Peter Pan?
I was John, so I was the brother of Wendy.
Brother of Wendy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What else were you in?
I played my trumpet along with band, so I played
That's the
played
name.
trumpet in.
That's the name of the play.
No,
I played my
the
trumpet
name
in
of
the
the play
band
was
play?
Jukebox Jam,
Jukebox Jam.
which was like a 60s, 50s, 60s set play, and I played the trumpet. I was in the background band for that.
Okay.
And then I did a few like variety shows for them, and I did magic there. So
Nice. Good. Good for you. You ever been under anesthesia?
I have quite recently.
Okay. And who did you think you were or talked like?
So when they put the Novocaine in my mouth, for some context, I got my wisdom teeth pulled quite recently, as in like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I could not talk normally without a lisp, and I couldn't pronounce a lot of words, and I thought I sounded like Sid from Ice Age.
Sid from Ice
Yeah.
Age. Nice. Nice. I don't have that picture.
Okay.
I wasn't going to embarrass you like that. You know, your dad has it. We'll put that on YouTube.
They've been building that up all day. I'm going to
Yep.
just say that.
Yep. Good. Well, good. Well, listen, I've got a book for you. I got a different book because you've already read that book, How to Stay Christian in College. And again, I ruined the price by writing in it. But it's a good book. I know that you will enjoy it, and it'll come in handy even if you go to Liberty. Okay? Sound good? There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Who do we have next? We have the other Ben Woodland. Come on, Ben. Give Ben a round of applause. Outstanding. You did that like a theater man. That's a compliment. That's a compliment. Let me ask you a question. I always wanted to ask this of theater people because I get confused sometimes. Do you pronounce it theater or theater?
I mean, if you're a nerd, like we make fun of people who say theater. They're trying too hard.
Okay, that's fine.
I say it all the time, just get on people's nerves.
Okay. So how do you say it?
Theater.
Theater. Good. What school did you go to?
I went to a small private Christian school called Agape Christian Academy.
Agape.
Yeah.
You know what agape means?
It means unconditional love.
Unconditional love. Nice. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was...
What was your nickname for agape?
Agape? Well, I had a lot of nicknames.
No,
Oh.
the school nickname.
Oh, school
You know,
nickname.
like Duke Blue Devils, or what
Oh.
was agape?
Prison.
Agape Prison?
Actually, there's this
Yeah.
one time I was allowed to...
Take it over, man. Go ahead.
I was allowed
It's your
to...
show, bro.
I was allowed to answer the phone because I would hang out with the secretary a lot, not in a weird way. Like,
Well, that's good. Glad you.
we
picked
were friends, and she left. She's like, Ben, you can pick up the phone if somebody calls, because she knew who was calling, and so they called. I picked it up. I was like, hello, Agape Prison. This is inmate number 192. I was like, what? It wasn't the person.
it. No kidding. No, really. What's their nickname?
Agape's nickname.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know what you're looking
You
for.
don't know.
The ambassadors.
Ambassadors.
Oh, okay.
Agape ambassadors.
Yeah, most nicknames we're given aren't good ones.
Yeah.
I remember when the Jewish
Yeah.
schools came in, they're like, "Oh, this place smells like butt." Like, I was kind of ashamed.
All right, man.
We weren't kosher.
So let me let me ask you this: what about in the theater? What about tell us about Geauga Lyric Theater?
Geauga Lyric Theater was a good experience. It was like, I feel like it was my first step into like the secular world.
Yeah.
Really got a taste of like what other kids were like. Because up until that point, I was like homeschooled and then private Christian school, which had a population of like 100 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got in there, and man, they were interesting people.
Mm-hmm. In a good way?
No.
No.
But,
They belonged at Agape prison, didn't they?
no. But yeah, it was a good experience. It taught me a lot of social skills, like making eye contact with women, and you know.
What kind of lyric theater are you going to?
Well, you know, one was mostly girls, and so like I think the only reason I got in was because I was a guy, and they needed a lot of those.
Well, we look like Tommy Benson, so.
He said Tommy Benson's like a mountain of a man. I'm more like
Danny DeVito.
no, I'm more like that bump out there.
There you go. There you
A
go.
bump of a man.
Good. What about any mission opportunities you went on in Agape?
I did actually. We
Yeah?
went to El Salvador, which is a small, impoverished. I don't know if you'd call it third world, but
2.5.
yeah, it's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small orphanage down there called Love and Hope. I almost wore the shirt tonight actually, but I couldn't find it. And they said we were going to go down there do some community work, which is more or less true. Mostly we just went down there and we kind of like talked to the kids. We made friends with them. You know, these were kids that came from really bad backgrounds. Like some of them they found living in a dump, and
Wow.
they brought them in and they raised them from when they're like 2 to 3 years old. And, you know, at that point, some of them were graduating, and it was looking like it was going to be the last year because the kids were getting pretty old. But, you know, we made some real friendship with them, and, you know, made some real connections, and it was definitely a life-changing experience. Not really in a way that a mission trip usually is. Like, mission trip, you know, most people come back, they're like, man, you know, I saw these people, and I saw how much I have, and, you know, I want to live for God now, and that's good. But, you know, I think this missions trip it changed us, not in a negative sense, but like it was a trial. It was a real trial. We had a lot of difficulties on that missions trip. We had somebody dislocate their shoulder, somebody sprained their ankle, and finally, to wrap it up, you know, on the second to last night of mission trip, my computer teacher, a longtime computer teacher, Mr. Miller, he suffered a heart attack and passed away that night. Man, it was scary. Like, you know, most of us were naive teenagers, and it was most of our first run-ins with, you know, death up close. But you know, we spent the night, you know, praying and reading the scripture, singing, reading psalms, and you know, it really brought us together. You know, there's some people there that like, in any other situation, I wouldn't be within 6 feet of them. Like, and so, but that night I was hugging them, I had my arms around them, and, you know, we were really supporting each other, and it was really like a huge example of what, you know, brothers in Christ ought to do in times of mourning.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to.
That would be inappropriate.
Give me the next picture there, Dan. Walk me through that. What's that? Why in the world you got a hard hat in the shower?
Well, I don't remember this exactly.
Oh, yes, you do.
I do not.
Oh, yes, you do,
I
Dan.
remember that hard hat. I don't remember putting it on for the shower. But my parents told me I didn't like getting water on my head, which is kind of the whole point of a shower.
Right.
But, you know, I hated it, and
Yeah.
I'd freak out every time I'd get water on my head. So I was like, oh, I'll just wear a hard hat in the shower.
Yeah.
And so now they kind of use this to blackmail me.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's our favorite picture, Ben. It's so cute. I
Yep.
don't think it's cute.
Yeah. You know who wears hard hats in showers? Those who say theater.
Yeah. Nerds.
Talk to me about picking up roadkill on the way to school.
Oh my gosh. There's a whole, okay, the man behind this was Mr. Lukebaugh, who left
Luca ball.
quite an impact on me. This was like middle school, 7th grade, and he used to drive us back and forth from school because he lived close by and he was our history teacher. And, there's one day he picked us up for school and he's like, guys, you never guess what I found in the back. I was like, what? I found this dead coyote in a ditch on the side of the road. It's perfectly good. Most of it was like just perfect condition except for the head that was smashed in, but, we can still salvage it. It's like, what are you going to do with it? He's like, I don't know. So we're driving there, and we get to school, and all the teenagers are like crowded around seeing this like bloody coyote in his back of his truck. They're like, wow, Mr. Lukebaugh, that's so cool. And one of the kids asked if he could have the tail, so he let him have the tail. And I don't know how they cut the tail off of it because you're not allowed to have knives in school, so I'm assuming they used like craft scissors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Not the safety scissors.
Not the safety scissors,
Yeah.
But
or the ones that like cut designs as you go.
Yeah, it was a cute little design.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing he had the tail on the top of his antenna on his truck.
No kidding. That's
Driving
hillbilly.
out, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
And on the way back, the worst part was he's like, okay, I got the coyote carcass, but now I want to put it back. He would just want to throw it back, into the woods somewhere. It's like, Ben, you're gonna help me. I'm like, no, I'm not, because I'm like a 12-year-old and I don't want to touch a dead coyote carcass.
Yeah, that's disgusting, man. But you know what? That's one of those stories you can tell as you look women in the eyes, I touched a dead coyote carcass.
I still struggle with that.
Yeah. You tell a lot of girls that story?
I don't really tell that story a lot.
No? Okay.
Only you. It's
Oh,
special
good.
for you.
Good. What else about Mr. Lukebaugh? Anything?
Mr. Lukebaugh, well, he was one of those teachers that, I don't know how to, he was a history teacher, like a male history teacher, real big guy. He was pretty fun. He would have us do just crazy things in class. I remember one of my favorite things he had us do was we'd have debates in class. He'd divide the class up like, okay, you guys are the British and you guys are the colonists. You debate who's right historically and stuff. And I was on the colonist team.
And then we will fight to the death.
Yeah. And, I was pretty proud because it was the first time that the colonist team actually won that debate. And then we had the Civil War debate, who was right, the North or the South, and it ended in a draw, so we had a Civil War. And
right there in class.
yeah, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite memory of Mr. Lukebaugh was probably the first time I ever met him. It was a cold fall morning, or was it the spring? I don't remember.
That's pretty different there.
It was rainy. It was really muddy.
Okay.
And my mom was having trouble getting the Jeep out of the mud. Like, she couldn't get it out. She had those little tread things you put underneath, and trying to get them out. And this guy in this rusty, broken down truck from like 1997 pulls into our driveway.
That's
and
old.
Olivia and I are like standing in the cold waiting for Mom to take us to school. And so the guy pulls in, and all I can see is the back of his head because he's facing my mom. And he's bald, he's got his head shaved and stuff. And I'm like, who is this guy? And he says, hey, you need help? Mom's like, oh yeah, sure. He says, I could take the kids for school if you want. And I'm like, okay, so this guy offered to take her kids. He's bald and he's driving this rusty truck from the 90s. She's definitely going to say no. She's like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, Mom just sold me out to a stranger. And she's like, get in the truck, kids. And of course, Olivia and I are really good kids, even though we thought it meant certain death. And so we get in this truck.
Yeah.
And our heads.
Like Dateline shows are made of. Go ahead.
Yeah. Our heads are
And
facing.
why did
towards
she
the
let
floor.
him in the truck? Why would the mother let the kids go? Go ahead.
So I was dealing with a lot
Yeah.
of things at that moment. I was like, how am I going to get out of here, and how am I going to deal with the betrayal from
He
my
didn't have
mother?
like a banjo in there, did he?
No, he didn't
No.
have a banjo.
Okay.
But he did have 95.5 the fish.
Okay.
And
That makes him safe.
definitely. But I'm it's a small truck, so I'm sitting with like the stick shift like between my knees and stuff. and I'm squished right next to this bald guy that I've never met in my life before.
Did he
At least
smell?
I thought. No, he smelled nice.
Okay, good.
And
Makes
he's
the
like,
ride
so
worth it.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
you guys like 95.5 The Fish? And we didn't say anything. We don't look at this guy in the face because he's a stranger. You don't talk to strangers. And we finally get to school.
But you get in the car.
We got in the car because Mom told us.
Yeah, right.
If Mom wanted us to get into a van with Jorge, we would. Mm-hmm. And
Hold on a second. Did you know this guy?
yes,
Okay,
she did. She
good.
did.
Good.
But we didn't find that out till later. It was Mr.
Yeah.
Lugaball. And he's
There
like,
you go.
and he pulls us into school. He dropped us off safely. And my sister's like, oh, that was our history teacher. And that's the first time we ever met him.
The dude's a psycho. Well, good. Outstanding. What about, other than Mr. Lookabaugh, because that's something there, who was your, who left the biggest impact on you in school?
I'd have to say it's my Bible teacher, Mr. Wilmot. You know, at first he only taught like high school Bible, and then as like more and more of our teachers left the school, he kind of assumed the responsibility to teach like 7 different Bible classes. And I feel bad for him. He was stressed all the time, but he was a man who really cared about God, and you know he was genuine, and he invested a lot of his time into the students. You know, forming relationships with them. And yeah, I had some really good conversations with Mr. Wilmot, and he really changed the atmosphere of Agape. Like Agape kind of came. I started out there, and it was kind of like a
Prison.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a prison, and you know, most of the students were there because their parents wanted them to be there, or
Right.
because
By law.
yeah,
They
by
had to
law.
go somewhere.
And you know, there's a lot of. It was a facade. It was like a It was like a stained glass masquerade. You know, kind of like
I hear you.
behind that.
Yeah. Us
And-
theater people know what he's talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
I'm actually referencing a song. But yeah, he formed a spiritual emphasis group, and you know, we really worked hard to kind of focus Agape on what its name meant. And you
Good.
know, I think hopefully I've left Agape, you know, a better place than when I came in.
Sure. Yeah. And where are you going?
I'm going to Ohio Christian University down in Circleville.
Circleville.
Yeah,
Good. Ohio Christian University. And you got some scholarships, right?
I do.
Yep. One is a theater scholarship.
It is a theater
Look at
scholarship.
that. You know, me and you like, I was in plays. I was in theater. Anyway, good. When you start?
I start this fall.
And how's that going to work? You're going to go like live down there with all this COVID-19 and they tell you we're open up for business, you're coming?
You know, they're planning on opening up in the fall.
Okay.
They're planning on, you know, this subsiding, and they're going to adjust accordingly, seeing how things turn out. But yeah, I still plan to go down there and get a dorm room and do college stuff.
Yeah, look girls in the eyes. You know,
Not quite yet.
not quite yet.
I'm not there yet.
Good, yeah, don't go there. Don't go there. Dave's shaking his head. That's just wrong. That's wrong. Don't say that. Well, good. Well, congratulations. We are proud of you. I have a book for you as well. It's the same, Just Do Something. Easy read. Read it this summer. And chock full of information. Give him a round of applause. And Adam. Come on, Adam. Adam Warren, give Adam a round of applause. Outstanding.
Hello.
Hello. Why don't you walk us through? You got nice boots.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Where'd you graduate from?
I graduated from Crestwood, Ohio.
Is your voice naturally that deep?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. From Crestwood?
Yeah.
Nice. You plan on going to school after Crestwood?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Akron
Akron
University.
University. Good. What are you going to study?
Supply chain management.
Supply chain management?
Yes.
Yeah. And why do you like supply chain management?
Well, it's like a people skill, but also like something you can do more than just. You have to like both think how people think or would act, while also like trying to make relationships with other people and other companies. Because I would be like a contractor. I like give people obviously what they want and vice versa, but you still have to have that basic people skill to still like make that contract out with other people.
Got it. Ben can help you teach you how to look women in the eyes. That's a skill to have in supply chain management. Let me ask you a question. Do you say theater or theater?
I don't know if I've ever said either. I don't really go to plays.
Okay, just wondering.
I might just call it the play.
There you go. Okay. Were you involved in any extracurricular activities in Crestwood?
Yeah, I was. I took bowling for 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah. I did choir for 2 years.
Nice.
And I attempted track and that ended horribly.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't do track. I will say this, I perfected my form in bowling on the Wii game station.
That's the best way to practice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I learned how to spin it and, you know,
Oh yeah.
how you do that and the ball does that.
That thing is amazing to do.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. Makes bowling fun,
Oh yeah.
you know? Good. What was your average?
I think I ended this year with like a 165 average.
Mine was like 265.
Yeah, you would have definitely been, good on varsity.
Well, I was on the Wii.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah. So you have a deep passion for what? What makes your heart thump in the morning to get up?
Blood?
Blood? You said blood. I'm out for blood.
No, that's what gets me up in the morning.
What do you like? You like guns?
Yeah.
So your mom
Oh no.
and Noah sent me this at separate times. Danny,
no.
why'd you hit that? They sent me this and they said, Noah, when I walk by the gun store, you like guns?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
definitely do.
How many guns do you own?
I have 4, almost 5.
Almost 5? How do you have almost 5? Is it like a half a gun?
No, it's currently being made.
Oh, it's currently being made.
Yeah.
Homemade gun?
No, it's not home. Well, I'm not the one making
No,
it.
you're not. What kind of guns do you have?
I have a World War I Mosin Nagant. It's a Russian rifle.
I know what it is. You're telling it for the people.
I have a Henry lever action.
Henry lever action. Nice.
I have a 12 gauge pump action.
12 gauge pump action.
And I
I have a finger gun.
and I have a 9mm Ruger pistol.
9mm Ruger pistol. Good. And what's the homemade one? Why are you looking out there?
I'm making sure it's
Someone-
okay with Mom. Okay, it's a Gatling gun.
Like, you got like 5 guns, man. Why you gotta ask Mom at this point? Gatling gun?
Yeah.
Oh, like what, Tommy Boy?
No, like the crank thing from the Civil War.
From the Civil War?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like from those gangster movies with the Gatling gun.
That's a Tommy gun.
Oh, that's a Tommy gun. I didn't know that. I thought it was a Gatling gun. That's cool. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this question. This is the question you need to answer to be successful in life. All right, future wife. You meet her on campus, in church, somewhere. Ultimatum. She says it's either me or the guns. How you replying on that one?
Hide the guns. Just don't let her know.
So you're gonna lie to your future wife.
Hey, I didn't say I was gonna lie to her. I said I was gonna hide them.
So your passion for gun, you would take her over the guns, is what I'm hearing. Settle it in your heart now, man. That way you can say, I'm so sorry, you got to start packing.
I mean, it's a hobby we could both have. So, I mean, I think I could make
You're
it turn
getting
into
soft on me.
relationship time.
Do you say theater? What are your plans for summer?
Come tomorrow, I'm leaving the state to go to West Virginia.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
For what?
I'm helping out my grandparents
Oh,
with
yeah?
work down there and
Oh, that's good.
some other things.
The stuff your brother couldn't get to?
Yeah.
Good. Good. How long you staying there?
Like 2.5 weeks, just
2.5
about.
weeks. Your grandparents got guns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Amen.
Good. So you come back home, you have any vacation plans or?
Like 2 days after I get home, we're doing on the youth trip.
Oh, youth trip.
Mhm.
Nice. Are you excited for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going there strapped, are you?
No.
Because it's a youth trip, and that would be weird.
I've never carried a gun outside my home, I don't think.
Good. That's good. You work anywhere?
Yeah, I currently work at the Circle K in Manaway.
Is that funny?
Yes, it is.
Circle K, Manaway.
Yeah.
What do you do at Circle K in Manaway?
I unload the trucks.
All right.
Well,
Is it a little bit more?
one's
than
the beer truck and one's the grocery truck.
Okay.
And then at like 1, maybe 2 days, I do register.
that? Okay. That's cool. How long you been there?
Circle K, I've been there like a month,
Mhm.
but Subway to Circle K, because they're
Subway.
the same store, but Subway closed. So I've been there about like 6.5 months, maybe 7.
Okay. Total.
Yeah.
Good. What'd you do before that? Anything?
I worked at McDonald's
Oh, yeah? Nice. How long were you at McDonald's?
6 months.
6 months. Good. What'd you work before that?
Nothing. Home.
Nothing.
Chores.
Home. Chores. Good. So McDonald's, Subway, Circle K.
Yeah.
Good for you. Grandparents.
Mhm.
Nice. Outstanding. So, I mean, is this really you when you go past gun stores?
Depends.
Depends. What is your most favorite gun? If you had any amount of money, you would say, I would get this gun. My life would be complete.
DP12.
DP12. For people who don't know what a DP12 is, because you and I speak the same language, what is a DP12
Oh,
other than a gun?
it's a shotgun, but it has it's a double barrel.
Double barrel shotgun.
So every time you pump it, you can pull the trigger twice, and it holds 12 rounds. And it's just a beautiful gun.
It's beautiful.
It has AR sights, and I'm gonna stop there.
How much does that cost?
$1,500.
$1,500. Not too bad.
That's on my list.
Would you leave your future fiance for that gun?
No, I don't think.
Are you nervous right now?
I'm having fun with this.
You like knives at all?
Yeah,
You do? You
Yeah.
have knives at home?
I have a knife on me.
That's not funny. That's not funny. I feel threatened. What kind of knife do you have on you?
It's a Smith & Wesson folding knife.
Folding knife. True story. I had, when I was in grade school, I think we were in 8th grade, and this kid, Dave, got in a fight with this kid, Norman. Norman's dad died a few years earlier, worked at LTV, horrible death. Something happened, and they got into a fight, and Norman just hounded Dave. Next day in school, we're like, Dave, what are you gonna do? The kid literally opens up his shirt. He's got a butcher knife duct taped to his body. That is crazy. You don't have anything like that?
I don't own a butcher knife.
No? Good.
At least I don't think so.
Yeah, crazy stuff. So no, really, if your future wife came and said, you know what, I mean, you spend, $20,000 in these guns, it's either the guns or me, you're staying, huh?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, all the people female friends I have and stuff, they all like guns.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you probably would choose a partner who likes guns, so
Yeah.
you don't have to get confronted with that ultimatum.
Yes.
There you go. Outstanding. See, I'm a marriage therapist as well. Just work it like that. Find someone who likes them and doesn't have to do the ultimatum. Or let them know up front. You or the guns? I'm picking the guns. See how they respond. Try it.
We'll see.
Yeah, just look them in the eyes like Ben does. We'll be good. Okay? So you're going to Akron. Excited
Yes.
to go to Akron?
Somewhat.
Why somewhat?
Because I don't know how it's going to turn out. Hopefully well.
Okay? They tell you anything about COVID and all that stuff, how it's going to work?
Some of my classes are going to be online. Some aren't. So far, it's just the hassle of trying to sort through the emails that I'm not receiving.
Sort through stuff you're not receiving.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, supply chain management.
Mhm.
How did this last 12 weeks at school work out for you? Obviously, you're in class, and all of a sudden you can't go to class. And were you upset you couldn't go to prom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you do anything
Over the
in
break.
place of prom?
Oh.
Like go out with your friends or hang out at home because it was stay at home and shoot your guns or something?
I don't think we did anything for prom.
No?
Nah.
Okay. Graduation, you're able to graduate?
Uh,
And they had some kind of ceremony?
yeah.
Yeah. You excited about that? Were you cool
Well, I
with
had
that?
it. What was it? Thursday, Wednesday.
Last week?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Hmm.
Nice. Was that satisfying?
It was fun.
It was fun?
Yeah.
You got your diploma, you're done, doesn't matter?
No, I don't have my diploma.
Not yet?
No.
But you
Mom
graduated.
and no, I have
But
to
you
pick that
graduated. You
up.
graduated? Good. Nice.
I think.
Nice. Did you make the dean's list or honor roll or anything?
I don't think high school has dean's list. But I did make the honor roll almost every marking period, I think.
Nice. Good for you. I didn't. I was far from it. So, good. Nice. All right. I don't think I have any. Oh, yes, I do. Favorite teacher? Who left the biggest impression on you? Biggest impact on you?
That's a tough one. I would have to say either Mr. Vaught or Mrs. Wills, my French teacher.
French.
Yeah.
Oui, oui. I speak French. Croissant. Continue.
Mrs. Wills, although we butted heads on some topics, she was like most caring person you'd ever meet. Like no matter what was going on, she was always there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Vaught was a 62-year-old man with the heart of a 5-year-old. He once threatened to levitate over 5 desks to attack a student.
What? What? I don't know.
So,
What in the world are you talking
so
about?
I
man?
was talking in class,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, Mr. Warren, if you don't stop talking, you're going to see a 62-year-old man levitate across 5 rows of chairs.
And Adam's like, you're gonna get shot because
He's
I
like,
got
"You-
my gun.
No, not quite. But
Playing like that.
he's like, you want to see that? And I'm like, to be honest, I would love to see that.
Did he?
No.
Oh, that grinds my gears, man. When teachers
Yeah.
make threats and don't do it. Anyway, well, good. You had a good time in school?
Depends on what times.
The good
Overall,
times.
yeah.
Overall, good, good. You be a little upset you're leaving youth group?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna miss it.
Mm-hmm. You can join us adults.
Join you what?
Shooting our guns. Good. Anyway, all right. It is about 8 o'clock, so we are just about done. I got a book for you. Book for you. Actually, what I have for you too is $20. So
Can I get my money
why
back?
don't you take that? There you go. Good. I think applause. All right. Good. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I know they had a good time. Hope you had a good time. And for the 4 graduates, actually we had someone else, Stormy McCallum. She was not able to attend today, but she's the 5th graduate. And so for those here, we have cake for you graduates to take home. The lid's already popped off if you want to take a picture and then pop the lid back on. or if you want to share, whatever you do, whatever you want to, it's your cake, all right? Well, good. Thank you for joining us at home. Thank you for joining us here. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you online next Sunday morning starting at 9 o'clock. God bless.